Oh, the oyster passes time serving nature's grand design, without a second thought about his fate. He consumes the briny blue, purifies it through and through, until he's plump enough to grace a dinner plate. Oh, the oyster, he's the workman of the sea, turning estuary plankton into food for you and me. There's nothing moister than an oyster from the shell. When your hunger he dispels, or a malady he quells. In low and high and shifting tide, the oyster is our friend, until he meets his culinary end. Oh, the oyster's tasty meat is a hale and hearty treat, and his liquor flows like legend near and far. You can cook him in a stew, you can bake or steam him too, or preserve him to eat later from the jar. Oh, the oyster, he's integral to the plan. When he's sucking up organic muck, he's happy as a clam. So let us cloister tiny spat with tender care on a bed of good repair, so they grow beyond compare. And if we do, there could ensue a blessed morning when the world will be our oyster once again. When I was a restless tad, stringing culch with dear old dad, 3 precious pearls of wisdom we did heed. Mark your progress with the tide, by the golden rule abide, and never shuck more oyster than you seed. Because the oyster, he's the workman of the sea, turning estuary plankton into food for you and me. There's nothing moister than an oyster from the shell. When your hunger he dispels, or a malady he quells. So cultivate and celebrate this mollusk who we brand a loyal friend of nature and of man. Because the oyster, he's integral to the plan. When he's sucking up organic muck, he's happy as a clam. So let us cloister tiny spat with tender care on a bed of good repair, so they grow beyond compare. And if we do, there could ensue a blessed morning when the world will be our oyster once again.
When depression's got you feeling like a loser, you're sucking mud, not getting anywhere. Surely hard times are a curse, but things could always be much worse. Consider the oyster for a moment if you dare. An oyster leads a dangerous and stressful life. Indeed, his chance to live at all is mighty slim. He can expect only one fate, to end life on someone's plate, and until that, prospects are pretty grim. But why call him a he? Except for clarity, a normal oyster never knows from year to year whether he is he or she, reversing sexuality till neither masculine nor feminine is clear. When he's a she, her energies are truly feminine. A single summer season when she's in her prime, she'll spawn 1,000,000 eggs with ease, send larvae squiggling through the seas, and then become a he again as if she'd only changed her mind. In 14 days the larva speeds through adolescence, if he avoids the hungry fishies swimming by. And as he floats he grows 1 foot and some cement to keep him put, and if he thought at all he'd surely wonder why. By surprise she bumps into a clean hard object. Our lucky spat attaches firmly to this home. She hopes to hide from prying eyes until she grows into some size, but she's stuck forever, never more to roam. And one would hope that staying put would bring her safety, but extermination lurks in every tide. She lies immobile as a rock while enemies are taking stock. There is no running off, and there is nowhere else to hide. A hungry starfish wraps its arms around an oyster, like a hideous lover forcing shells apart, thrusts its stomach in between, creating quite an ugly scene, digesting oyster sushi tartare a la carte. And there's a host of other dangers all around her. There's the boring sponge and then the oyster drill. There's the leech and the black drum to which an oyster could succumb, and even hungry ducks are known to eat their fill. If she escapes the duck, leech, borer, sponge, and starfish, she must surrender as she's harvested and bought. And then some human cracks her up, using her half shell as a cup, and slips her slimy living body down his throat without a thought. So when you think you're at your lowest, life is over, recall the oyster has 1 foot and you have 2. You can kick yourself in the butt, get up and get out of that rut, and make the most of life that God has given you.
Late last night in the full moonlight, all the invertebrates give a spree. They put out a sign, said dancing at night, and all the fresh water's free. There were crabs and clams, and worms and snails. It was the biggest crowd you ever seen. When the spiny lumpsucker struck up his number, you should have heard the bivalve scream. With LG290 tried his luck, the Jim shook the shimmy and she could not stop. Oh my God.
And we have the pit crew.
Illegal down at the bivalve bash this morning. Down at the bivalve bash, sing it now. Shooby-doo-wah, da-bi-doo-da, shooby-dooby-wah-bye-bye. Dooby-doo-hey, dooby-doo-da, shabby-da-ba-bee. A great herring and jubilee, swinging arm in arm with an anemone. And old man Eagle said this must be illegal. Down at the bivalve bash this morning. Down at the bivalve bash.
Try to make sure that they're straight. All right. Let's go down to the bottom. On your mark. Get set. Go. Oh, that black one would have won if it hadn't got hung up.